Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Dr. Nikhat Aslam from Department of Biochemistry. This is the third lecture of protein synthesis and genetic code. In this lecture, we will study about the steps of the translation and what are the modifications which take place in the structure of the protein. Translation is the process of protein synthesis which translate three-letter alphabet of nucleotide sequence on mRNA into the alphabet of amino acids. The process of translation between the prokaryotes and eukaryotes, they have few similarities and there are some differences also. Prokaryotic mRNA often have several prokaryotic mRNA often have several coding regions, that is their mRNA is polycistronic, and each coding region has its own initiation and termination codon and produces the separate species of polypeptides. But in the eukaryotic mRNA, it only has one coding region, that is its monocistronic. Also, the main difference in the prokaryotic and eukaryotic translation is that in prokaryotes the translation is coupled. That is, with the translation starting before the transcription is complete. It means translation and transcription, they are going side by side. Coupling is a consequence of the lack of nuclear membrane in prokaryotes. There are the process of translation is divided into three steps, which is initiation, elongation and termination. In initiation, assembly of components of translation system before the peptide bond formation occurs. There are several components which includes the transfer RNA, mRNA, ribosomes and factors. They are assembled before the peptide bond formation occurs. In prokaryotes, three initiation factors, they are initiation factor 1, 2 and 3. Whereas in eukaryotes, there are over 10 initiation factors, eukaryotic initiation factors. Their functions, they are written in front of them. For example, in prokaryotes, initiation factor 1, it prevents the premature binding of transfer RNA to A site. In the initiation factor 2, it facilitates the binding of formylated methinyl transfer RNA to the 30S ribosomal subunit. Likewise, there are the functions of eukaryotic initiation factors, which we will also discuss when we will go through the steps. Initiation and the translation. First of all, ribosome, it recognizes the initiation codon, this is AUG, by the two ways. First one is the Shine-Dalgarno sequence. In the prokaryotes, Shine-Dalgarno sequence is located 6 to 10 bases upstream of initiation codon AUG. The 5' end of the mRNA and the 3' end of the 16S ribosomal RNA, they form the complementary base pairs. This is how the recognition is done in the prokaryotes. But in the eukaryotes, there is no Shine-Dalgarno sequence, no SD sequence. What happens in eukaryotes is that the 40S ribosomal subunit, aided by the members of eukaryotic initiation factor 4 family of proteins, they bind close to the cap structure at the 5' end of mRNA and moves down the mRNA until it encounters the AUG, which is the initiator codon. And this scanning process, this movement of the machinery, this movement of the complex, it requires ATP. This is the formation of the closed circularization of the eukaryotic mRNA, the association of the cap, initiation factor 4 and poly-A tail, it make the circularization of eukaryotic mRNA. This is how the ribosomal RNA, 16S ribosomal RNA, its 3' end and the Shine-Delgado sequence, they are complementary to each other. They bind with each other, and in this way the initiation codon is recognized. Ribosome recognized the nucleotide AUG by the I have told you by the two ways. The first one was the Shine-Delgado sequence, which we have discussed, and the second is the initiation codon. It is recognized by special initiator transfer RNA by initiator factor 2, which is bound with the GTP. In the eukaryotes, there are additional initiation factors which are required. The charged transfer RNA, the first transfer RNA, it enters the P site. In bacterial mitochondria, the initiator transfer RNA carries the N-formulated methionine. Methionine is usually removed before the translation is completed. Then the largest subunit, it comes and it joins, and the functional ribosome is formed with the charged transfer RNA in the P site. At this time, the A site is empty. This is how the methionine, this is the initiator transfer RNA which contain the methionine, and it is formyl group has been added by the enzyme transformylase, and the formyl group, it has been donated by the N10 formyl tetrahydrofolate. This is the initiation step. First of all, initiation factor aid in the formation of 30S initiation complex, in which initiation factor aid in the formation of 30S initiation complex, in which the charge transfer RNA is at the P site. This is the charge transfer RNA and this is the P site. GTP on initiation factor 2 is hydrolyzed and changed into the initiation factor 2 bound with GDP. Initiation factor, they are released when 50S subunit it arrives and it forms the 70S initiation complex. Streptomycin, it is the effective antibiotic and it is used to treat many of the bacterial infection. What is its mechanism of action? How it inhibits the bacterial growth? This is by the way it binds to the 30S subunit and distorts its structure, interfering with the initiation of protein synthesis. In the eukaryotes, as we have studied that there is no SD sequence, no Shine-Delgado sequence. The scanning process, it is done by the eukaryotic initiation factor 4. GTP on initiation factor 2, it facilitates the recognition of initiation codon AUG, and initiation factor 4 family proteins. There are other there are many complexes, there are many factors which are present in the eukaryotic initiation factor 4 complex. Poly-A tail binding protein, this is the poly-A tail binding protein. It is also involved and it binds close to the poly-A tail and it forms the circularized structure of mRNA, which ensures that once the process of translation is started, it will move in a circular way, and it will go continuously to the poly A tail, to the stop codon, and the process of translation will be completed. In the eukaryotes, there are 4 steps. First of all, the ribosomal structure, it is distorted into the 40S and 60S. They are separated into the 40S and 60S subunit. Then the formation of 43S pre-initiation complex. In the 43S pre-initiation complex, initiator methionine transfer RNA. This transfer RNA is not formulated. The formulation is only in the prokaryotes. So in the 43S pre-initiation complex, initiator transfer RNA, GTP, initiation factor 2 and 40S ribosomal subunit, they form the 43S pre-initiation complex. Then there is the binding of mRNA, and 43S pre-initiation complex changed into the 48S initiation complex. Combination of 48S initiation complex with the larger subunit of the ribosome will form the 80S initiation complex. This is the formation of 43S initiation complex, 43S initiator complex, which contain the GTP, initiation factor 2, other initiation factors, transfer RNA, and smaller subunit of the ribosomes. Then in the 43S pre-initiation complex, the 43S pre-initiation complex, the mRNA, it is attached and it changes into the 48S initiation complex. ATP is hydrolyzed to the ADP, and finally when the larger subunit 60S it comes and and attaches to the initiation complex, the final complex is the 80S initiation complex. This is the initiation step in the eukaryotes. And then the steps which we are going to study, the second step of the translation in the prokaryotes as well as in the eukaryote, this is the elongation. In the elongation, there is the addition of amino acids to the carboxyl end of the growing polypeptide chain. Ribosome moves from 5' end to the 3' end of the mRNA. This is the direction of the ribosome. It moves from 5' end to the 3' end of the mRNA. Elongation factors in the prokaryotes, they are elongation factor TU, GTP and TS, and it requires the GTP hydrolysis. In the eukaryotes, there are comparable elongation factors. They are the 1-alpha and 1-beta-gamma. These factors, they act as nucleotide exchange factors. After the peptide bond has been formed, what was attached to the transfer RNA at P site is now linked to the amino acid on the transfer RNA at the A site. It means the amino acid from the P site at the transfer RNA at the P site is transferred to the transfer RNA at the A site. Transfer RNA requires the hydrolysis of GTP, and additional energy is required also in the eukaryotes, and this translocation step is repeated until the termination codon it is encountered. This is the diagrammatic presentation of the elongation step. The second transfer RNA, which contains this was the first transfer RNA, formulated methionine, which was attached at the P site. The second transfer RNA, which contains the phenylalanine, it comes and at the A site. elongation factors direct the binding of the appropriate transfer RNA to the codon, and also the GTP is hydrolyzed to the GTP. Peptidyl transferase, this is the activity of ribosomal RNA of 50S ribosomal subunit. It catalyzes the peptide bond formation and transferring the initiating amino acid to the transfer RNA at the A site. Now the peptide bond, the first peptide bond, it has been formed. Tetracycline, it is also used to treat the bacterial infection, and it is used in the treatment of acne, cholera, plague, malaria, syphilis. What is its mechanism of action? How it treats the bacterial infection? It will interact with the 30S ribosomal subunit and block the access of the incoming transfer RNA to the A site on mRNA. Puromycin is also cause the premature chain termination in the translation, and it inhibits the translation. It is effective in the inhibition of translation in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Puromycin bears structural resemblance to the amino acyl transfer RNA, and it becomes incorporated into the growing peptide chain. Instead of amino acyl transfer RNA, it will itself incorporated into the growing polypeptide chain. Another antibiotic, this is the chloramphenicol. This is also used in the treatment of bacterial infections, and it is used in the ointment of the eye to treat the conjunctivitis. Also, it is used for the meningitis, plague, cholera, and typhoid fever. How chloramphenicol it inhibit the bacterial infection? It inhibit the enzyme, prokaryotic enzyme peptidyl transferase. At high level, it can also inhibit the mitochondrial protein synthesis. In the translocation step, ribosome moves the distance of the 3 nucleotide along the mRNA in the 5' to 3' direction. You can note that what was on the P site is now on E because it has been moved 3 nucleotide ahead, and what was on the A site is now in the P. And at this time, after the translocation, the A site is empty. See, this ribosome, it has been moved in this side, and it has covered the next codon on the mRNA. Resin is a toxin. It inactivates the eukaryotic 28S ribosomal RNA. Clindamycin and erythromycin, they are also the antibiotic, and they reversibly bind to the 50S ribosomal subunit and of the bacterial ribosome, and thus inhibit the translocation step. Diphtheria toxin and the eukaryotes, it inactivate the eukaryotic elongation factor 2, and also it inhibit the translocation step. These steps are repeated until a termination codons they are encountered at the A site. How termination occurs? Termination occurs when the 3 termination codons, one of the 3 termination codons, it moves onto the A site. These 3 termination codons, they are UAA, UAG, and UGA. They are recognized by the releasing factor 1. It recognizes the 2 termination codons UAA and UAG. Releasing factor 2, they recognize UGA and UAA. Releasing factor 3, it is bound with the GTP, and it causes the release of previously described releasing factor 1 and 2, and also the GTP is hydrolyzed. This is the termination. This is the UAA. It has encountered the A site of the ribosome, and the releasing factors, this is the releasing factor 1 and 2, they are then released, and the GTP, it is hydrolyzed. The protein factors and ribosomal subunits, they are recycled, and their release, there is the release of completed peptide chain. A termination codon is recognized by releasing factors which result in release of newly synthesized proteins. The synthesizing complex dissociates, and GTP on releasing factor is hydrolyzed. All these transfer RNA, releasing factors and ribosomes, they are then recycled. They are the protein which are involved in the initiation, elongation and termination, and in front of them there is the written the functions of these factors, they are written. Polysomes, this is the because of the length of most of the mRNA, more than one ribosome at a time, they can translate the messenger RNA. Such a complex of mRNA and a number of ribosomes and mRNA, this is the complex, and it is called the polyribosomes or polysomes. What is the protein targeting? Protein targeting means sometime the protein, they have to move outside the cell, sometime it have to be incorporated into the nuclear into the cell membrane, and this is done by the addition of some sequence to the protein destined for the secretion from the cell. They are targeted during their synthesis, that is co-translationally to the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and it is attached with the hydrophobic signal sequence. Protein which are targeted after synthesis, that is the post-translationally, they include the nuclear protein, which contains a short basic nuclear localization signal. Mitochondrial protein, which contains an amphipathic alpha helical mitochondrial signal, mitochondrial entry sequence. This is the how the proteins, they come with the come close to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. This is the signal sequence which has been added co-translationally to the proteins, and it this sequence, it guide the protein and come to the pores where there are the receptors, and here this signal peptides, they are removed inside the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and inside the rough endoplasmic there is the completed protein inside the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Within the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and these proteins, they are closed inside the vesicles and come to the Golgi complex, where there are the further modifications, and from the Golgi complex, they are moved from the cis phase to the trans phase, and they come in contact with these vesicles from the Golgi complex, they come in contact with the lysosomes, and they form the secretory vesicles. If they are going to move outside, they come to the cell membrane, and there is the exocytosis. Otherwise, if they have to incorporate it into the cell membrane, some carbohydrate group, they can be added. Regulation of translation, it is accomplished in the eukaryotes by covalent modification of eukaryotic initiation factor 2, phosphorylated factor 2 is enacted. For eukaryotes and prokaryotes, regulation can be achieved through protein that bind the mRNA and either inhibit its use by blocking the translation or extend its use by protecting it from the degradation. This is the how the information it is transferred from the DNA to the amino acids. This is the DNA triplet codons. They are present, they are transcribed in the mRNA and they are translated into the proteins. Co and post translational modifications. Modifications may include the residues which are attached, for example the acetyl, phosphoryl, methyl, carboxyl, carbohydrate, or some prosthetic groups they can be added. There may be the formation of disulfide bonds, there may be the functional groups they are attached, or there may be the proteinated cleavage of the polypeptide chains, the folding and post-translational processing may also occur. First of all, which we study in the co and post translational modification is the trimming. Some precursor proteins, they are cleaved in endoplasmic reticulum or in the Golgi apparatus. Others, they may be cleaved in the vesicles, for example the insulin proteins and collagen, they are cleaved after secretion. Examples include the zymogen, for example the trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, they become activated to the trypsin or chymotrypsin in the small intestine by the cleavage of peptide chain. The synthesis of protease as zymogen, you know that it protects the cell from being digested by its own product. Another modification is the phosphorylation. Phosphorylation occurs on the hydroxyl group of the serine, threonine, or less frequently on the tyrosine residues. And this phosphorylation is done by the kinases, and if the phosphate phosphate group has been removed, it will be done by the phosphatases. Glycosylation, many of the proteins that are destined to become the part of the membrane, a carbohydrate group it has been attached, and glycosylation and linked, it is and linked glycosylation is occurs in Golgi complex and N-glycosylation occurs in the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and O-glycosylation it occurs in the Golgi complex. Hydroxylation, proline and lysine residues of the alpha chains of collagen, they are extensively hydrolyzed, and this hydrolyzation is vitamin C dependent hydroxylation. Other modifications include carboxylation of the clotting proteins. Sometimes the glutamate residues, additional carbohydrate group, carboxyl group, it has been added, and sometimes the biotin is covalently bound to the eta amino acid group of the lysine, amino group of the lysine. Sometimes the lipid moiety such as farnesyl group, it has been added, which will help in anchoring of the protein to the membrane. Many eukaryotic proteins, they are co-translationally acetylated at N. Protein degradation, the proteins which have some problem, they are defective or they are misfolded, they are marked by ubiquitination. The protein marked by ubiquitination, they are rapidly degraded by the proteasome, And proteasome, you have studied the function of the proteasome and the metabolism of the proteins, metabolism of the amino acid. It is the macromolecular ATP dependent proteolytic system, and it is located in the cytosol. Mutations seen in the cystic fibrosis cause misfolding of the CFTR protein, resulting in its proteasomal degradation. The mRNA which are non-translated, they accumulate in the cytoplasm in the form of P-bodies. P-bodies, their site of translational repression on mRNA. These P-bodies, they may contain the decapping enzymes, they may contain the RNA helicases, they may have the exonuclease activity, or they may involve in the formation of microRNA function and mRNA quality control. So this was all about my today's lecture, and now the protein synthesis, it has been completed. Best wishes, good luck.